Hello, everyone.
Woo!
Welcome to episode 7 of Dragon Mount's rewatch of the Wheel of Time. Who's excited?
I'm pretty excited. I like this
Pretty
episode.
excited.
I mean, this starts the rough patch for me. I mean, for obvious reasons, but
Yeah,
this is a fun episode.
I like this episode. Yeah, I mean, it had its challenges too, like episode 8, but overall, I like it. So I'm excited. Some awesome stuff in it. All right, so of course you have your usual crew with you. Rebecca, we got Tom, we got Ebony, and we have a special guest tonight, Rob from Malkier Talks.
And the real reason I'm excited for this episode.
That's right.
Hey, people.
That's the real reason.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, better now.
Yes.
Now,
what time is it where you are, Rob?
Yeah.
It is 2:03 a.m.
And see, that's a lot of love right there, because I would be turning over at 2 or 3 a.m. I don't think I would be doing a stream.
There's a bed back there. I was actually asleep in a little while ago.
We're so excited that you wanted to join us for this. Feel honored that you're staying up late for us.
Yes.
I had to be here.
Or you got up really early for us.
It's one of the two.
Yeah, it depends how you look at it, but
And yes, and and Bane and Shiad, it's Blood Snow, right? That's why you're here. Come on.
This is my favorite episode because of Blood Snow.
I mean, that definitely bumps it up a lot.
Yeah, I've described Blood Snow as the best scene that I've ever seen in cinematic history.
Yep, I can get behind that.
I could definitely get behind best fight scene, for sure. Yeah,
I used to rate the fight in episode 3 of Star Wars between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Especially because that's legit. They practiced so much that's actually how fast they were moving. There was no stuntman or special effects doing that. Obviously, aside from the jumping. But this.
What do you mean Obi-Wan can't jump 60 feet onto the bank of a lava river?
I believe that, actually.
No. I mean, the
Ewan McGregor can't do that?
Oh. The actual jumping was real. What they jumped over was not lava.
The lava was not real.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see.
Blood Snow, like what they say, I think Rafe in like one of his interviews or whatever, what is it, like two days it took them to film that, I think?
I think so.
That's about right.
Yeah. And he said I forgot her name because I'm a terrible person, but the woman that played
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but
was she from like Prague or something?
I don't know. It's like Maja or something, but that's probably not right. But anyway.
Yeah, I stay away from trying to pronounce it because I'm terrible for it.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know. My co-hosts in chat are now screaming at me, Rob, it's this. I think the shortened version is like Magda or something like that. I think
Magda, maybe that's it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be very.
She trained for like 2 months, they said, for that. To be able to do that fighting.
Friggin' amazing.
I will say, absolutely. Like she had to have that belly on her too. Like with that belly,
God, yeah.
With that belly, like you can barely get up at that point. Like just out of the chair from personal experience. Like you can't. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And she's acting. Like that's the other thing is like she's a stunt performer. Magdalena Satova. Thank you, Melindra. And I forgot that it was Magdalena. I think I had seen like a shortened version of it. So maybe it was Magda, like you said, Rob.
I think Leah's read it in chat as Magda as well. So but it's spelled with like a J.
Yeah.
There you go, Althor's thing. There's a question for Rafe. Make sure to include that.
Oh yeah.
Who choreographed the fights?
So I was gonna say like she's acting, like she's a stunt performer, but like I'm mad that like about if there's any award out there for like stunt performance that she didn't win, I'm mad about it.
Agreed.
Yeah. So we forgot to give shout outs to Rob's stuff. And I just remembered when I was looking through the stuff here. Rob is an amazing human being. You do so many things. If you caught the Twitter of Time Awards, he was the man behind the curtain for the majority of that, pushing all the buttons and pulling all the levers.
Oh, there's so many buttons and levers that you think I'd make it easier. Yeah. And I did. In so many ways, I made it easier this year. But in so many ways, I was like, oh, I need a PA or something.
It's not even just the running of the StreamYard. It's coordinating all of those people. Like, forget about it. Like, just that in and of itself, like, is a job. And doing both of those things at the same time is nuts.
I love it, though.
But I mean, I want to thank you, and I'm sure everyone else wants to thank you. But it was a ton of fun, like both to watch and be a part of. But
it was a lot of fun. I had so much fun. I actually didn't sleep that night because I had to get a flight at like 8 a.m. from the airport, and the Twitter Time Awards ran until about 4 a.m. my time, or 3 a.m. or something my time, and I was running off to the airport to attend OGayCon. So I actually didn't sleep that night at all. So.
I don't know why you keep hanging out with Americans. Like, is it worth it?
I mean,
as an American, I can say no.
I'm like, well, this is why I'm asking, Tom. I'm like, I don't know that Americans as a whole deserve this kind of commitment. I don't.
No, but Wheel of Time fans deserve this commitment.
Okay, that's fair. Wheel of Time fans.
And
so that's
Michael Livingston, and more importantly,
yes,
his mustache.
Yeah, and the stash. Yeah. Definitely. I'm missing my usual background because I'm traveling at the moment. Nothing major. It was I came to see family for the night. But yeah, normally I have like the mustache from that event in the background. I can just pick it up and put it on, but I can't now. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Actually, hold on. Here, I'll make you feel more at home because I still have the pictures in here. There it is.
Yes, there we go.
From last
I like that picture of him a lot.
It's such a good picture. There's just the picture because it's great.
Yeah.
He's great. I love him. He said he had a great time, by the way. When I interviewed him last week in my Instagram live, and I asked him about it, and he said he had a great time, both after signing and afterwards, and all that.
But so just in case anybody else doesn't know all the places to find you, Rob, like let everyone know where they should be checking out your work and following you, because he does a lot.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I do a lot. I have a weekly live show on YouTube, Threefold Talk. All my co-hosts, my co-stars are in chat right now. Melindra, Leia. Actually, no, I lie. Shelly isn't here right now, but she has. She's fast riding with some friends and stuff, so that's fair. And obviously, Shed is here. So yeah, that's every Thursday. That's a lot of fun. But you can find most of my stuff. I say most of it, all of it, on my website, which is malkytalks.com. It's on the screen currently. And one of my other big things is this weekend we've got What a Holiday, which is the charity event I run every year. And Dragon Mount you guys are, which slot do you have? You kicking it off, aren't you?
Yeah, we're kicking it off 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock on Saturday. So which is
PM
exciting.
Eastern time.
Yes, PM Eastern time. Yes. So
1
a.m.
all
for
over
me.
right now. Oh, man, crazy man.
24 hours. Well, it's actually 25 because I insist on having 24 hours of content. So I make the committee do like half hour prior and half hour after, so we still get 24 hours of shows.
Just in case.
Just to make sure, yeah. So yeah, it's fun. But yeah, you'll find all my stuff on there. So it's the best place to go to.
The last thing I wanna push out is the Leaf cast told us about they're doing a contest to give away 2 copies of New Spring, which is the book that they're going to be reading next on their first time reader show. That is The Way of the Leaf. You can find them on Twitter and stuff like that. But they wanted me to share the link to that form again. The contest is to submit a 50-line poem, no more than 50 lines for a poem, or a flash fiction or short story that is no more than, I think, 3,000 words. If I'm correct, it says it in the form. So if you want to participate in that and have a chance to win a hardcover copy of New Spring, go ahead and click the link to the Google form that I just put into chat and submit us something to read. Author Gerald Coleman is going to be helping us judge that contest as well.
Oh, nice.
He is a science fiction fantasy author. He has degrees in philosophy, theology. He's a poet himself as well. He's published many poems. Most recently, his book of poems. I don't have it. It's on my bookshelf over there. The most recent book he published was On the Black Hand Side, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a delve into his life growing up and his influences and stuff like that. It's a great book.
I feel like knowing like such a prestigious person is going to be judging might like, maybe people were thinking about, I'll write a poem about like Trolloc nipples or something.
No,
they
you
might
should.
be rethinking that now.
I know Gerald. That'll be fine.
Okay.
He's a huge fan of the Wheel of Time, and he does these things at cons all the time. He's at cons like I don't even know. He goes to so many cons. He loves this type of stuff. He is especially if you read On the Black Hand Side, it is poems, but he does have like little short stories explaining like some parts of them because they have to do with his life. And he's a super giant nerd. He's been a super giant nerd his whole life.
He is, because he's done the D&D for charity at JordanCon, right?
Yes, he has.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you guys are fine.
Hey, Amy's.
Nice.
Or Amis.
I'll get Kev Angus on the Trolloc nipple poem then.
Well, I mean, he's the one to do it for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. But
no
there's
one else
many
could do
other
it.
Trolloc.
Body
parts.
Body parts. Yeah.
I would like a specific hairy Trolloc nipple, please.
Yes.
I mean, I think that
you can do a Trolloc horn poem. I don't know. Trolloc mating calls.
Depends on what horn you're talking about there. Buddy. From Canada, could be. All right. So for those who haven't joined us for this before, we are going to be watching episode 7, which is The Dark Along the Ways of the Wheel of Time show on Amazon Prime. Us in this thing here will be watching in a watch party, but y'all could follow along at home by my little nifty timer that I totally fixed. It worked last week. Yay! It is the correct frame rate now, and it won't be slow. If you lose your place, you can follow along there. After the show, stick around. We will be waiting probably about 10-15 minutes after the show is over. Please make sure to submit your questions if you would like a chance for Rafe to answer questions. The questions, we would like them to be specific about about this episode and not broad like, when will we see X character again? Or, is this
nothing future, because he's not going to answer. So
exactly. Karen, what's up?
But yeah, absolutely. And you can submit them anytime. So like, as you're watching and you think of something, just throw it in the chat. Yep. You can, we'll be pulling them from like all the platforms. So wherever you're watching or following along, just throw it out to us.
And if you want to prepare for next week, episode 8, you could submit them at any time during the week. Sure. Just make sure to use the hashtag reWoTch hashtag.
Yeah.
All right. Is there
so yeah, I think that's it, because we don't have that.
You're dying.
Well,
you're turning into a robot again.
Did I lose you guys?
No, you're back.
No, not again. Okay.
All right. Bubble of evil.
Everybody,
I'm very familiar with them, sadly.
Whatever you can do to like get rid of this bubble of evil, do it.
I'll pray to the internet god from American Gods.
Yeah. Okay. Anywho, so get your Prime Video ready to
Lee
go.
Science. Lee, you get all the props. I'm sorry. Yes, Lee. So Lee, if you like an author, especially a small author, this is something that I used to post like once a month when I was working for JordanCon, and I've fallen off. I need to start doing it again. If you like an author, the absolute best thing you can do for them is leave a review for their book. Like, even if someone gives you the book and you don't buy it, like a review for their book on Amazon or Goodreads is worth its weight in gold. Like, they need reviews. So yes, if you enjoyed Origins, just go and leave a quick review on Amazon or Goodreads or a website like that, and let them know what you thought about the book. But that is huge. Good job, Lee.
And toe if you don't leave 5 stars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the
I
blood
think
snow.
we're
Okay,
ready to
bring
go.
it
Bring
on.
on the blood snow.
Okay, so I am going to press play on the timer that's on the bottom of the screen over here, and on the show at the same time. We will not be skipping the recap. If you are unlucky enough to get a commercial beforehand, sucks to be you. Just skip ahead and catch up, to the timer when that is done. We are also not going to skip the intro title because I like watching it, and
it's very pretty.
It is very pretty.
It is very, very pretty.
Yep.
Okay, we are going to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Bing bong bing.
So I want you guys to know that I watch it muted with the captions on, and I'm terrified every time Tom hits play that it's going to be real loud, that I didn't actually mute it.
Yes, I did get that. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, how do I?
You could lower it on the player itself if you move them.
I have the volume down pretty low on mine.
There we go. There we go.
Thanks, Althor's team. Thanks, buddy.
I do enjoy watching with captions. I know this has been said.
You got to have the captions. We say that like every week because there's always something you'd miss.
Yes.
There's
if you didn't have
also
the captions on.
apparently there's also some interesting stuff in the I forgot what it's called. The
visual description.
Yeah,
Yes.
the visual description.
If for
visually impaired people.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
In the beginning, in the first episode, they referred to the pool that Nynaeve is in with the cave as the paint pool.
Yeah.
Which that scene was cut. So like they must record that way early.
Okay, shh, Tom, start.
Here we go.
Let's know. Everybody focused.
This is incredible.
So good.
I mean, I do just genuinely feel like this just deserves silence on the rewatch.
It does.
Even though we can't do that.
No, I can't. I have to say something right now. In fact, I'm partially just this much angry that her Shufa and veil come off.
Well, she wasn't planning on killing. Trust
Exactly,
me. When those contractions hit, you hear about a darn thing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
they,
it's just
they want to show her face. They want to show.
I know she's very good looking and she's an actress, and they have to have their face on screen. That's big, but
yes,
it's like so important.
It is, but I think it's more realistic.
Yes,
I guess.
I remember when this first came out, there was a lot of discussion about this, and
yeah, there was.
Yeah, you can still fight with your veil down in a moment like this because you just don't have a second to put it up.
More than
but
time.
Like the IE will do, they will just meet. She has incurred toe for doing this.
Right.
She'll meet.
She'll meet the toe.
If she could, she would have. Yeah, that's a great point.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's a really good point.
Yeah, I think it's an acceptable situation to be in.
Right. Also,
and I just again
contraction. Come on, she's a bit distracted.
She's trying to breathe.
That is
literally just trying to breathe.
I'm pretty sure all of the soldiers she engages with, she kills. So like in this scene, at least every soldier that she is engaged with on screen, she's killed them. So I don't think any of them are Tam.
No, she definitely kills them all. Yeah.
Yeah, and
yes,
I think
our home
he
is in the
comes
background.
Up. Yeah, but I think Tam comes up afterwards, like he was watching from a distance, because Tam would have. We know Tam. He would have never attacked a woman so obviously pregnant.
Right. Yeah. Right. We see that at the end of this scene. Yeah.
And I'm curious to know, Rob and everyone, what do you guys think? Do you think Tam would have gotten over his Two Rivers inclination not to harm a woman after having fought the Aiel for a few years at this point, probably?
I don't think he would intentionally try to kill any of them. I think he would definitely try to disarm them. He would harm them, but I still think he would do his best to not kill them unless his life really was in peril.
My thought on it is that it would make him uncomfortable, but I also think that Rand develops, like a bigger thing about this than like is normal in the Two Rivers. Like they're all uncomfortable about it, but like we see even in like early books, like what book is it? Like like Matt does at some point, and like he
Right,
doesn't like it, but like
But
he'll
Matt,
do it if he has
right.
to, if his life
Matt-
is
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I think a lot of that, I think with Rand is so he's got, I think, so much guilt. I think I can, because we know he's the Dragon Reborn.
yeah.
So I think, I don't know if some of that is Luz Theron coming through, like Luz Theron killed you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if that
good
weighs,
point, yeah.
like if that's part of that, like even if Rand doesn't realize that's part of what that is.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he goes beyond the normal Two
Right.
Rivers attitude.
But he's also the Kinslayer reborn.
Exactly,
I get a chance to use this, so I'm excited. Hold on.
Wheel of Time. Fun fact.
I just like using those. They're fun. But I do have a fun fact.
Okay.
So we all know that there was one prequel novel, what they referred to as an outrigger novel. There were originally planned to be 3.
Right.
One of them, I will not mention what the theme was because it is a huge spoiler.
Fair.
The other one was supposed to be about Tam joining the alien companions. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad we never got that.
Me too. I would love to see that. The funny thing was Tom Doherty, the owner and CEO and president of Tor Books, accidentally dropped that on us at the first Jordan Con, which was in 2009. Yeah. So that's pre Towers of Midnight, pre the Gathering Storm, and pre A Memory of Light. And the story that the other one was about was a huge spoiler. You should have seen Harry and Maria Allen. You should have seen their
I can imagine.
It was,
boy.
It was hilarious.
Tom got in trouble that day.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Harry gave him an earful.
Yeah, definitely. So
now we're in the wave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as disappointed as I am that they didn't take the horses, and I think we talked about this at the end of the last. Like, I understand why they didn't, but I mean, it's one of those little non-important details in the book that you're just
whoa. What do you mean non-important? Bella's very important to me. Okay,
she is. But when I was watching this with my son, I was like, they're supposed to take the horses, but they didn't. I don't.
I mean, the structure they've built for the scene, which is amazing. The fact that they could just reshape it constantly was brilliant. It doesn't lend itself to horses,
right? And I completely understand that. But I'm like, you guys have to understand, for years I've been trying to get my children to read Wheel of Time, and nobody has had any interest, which is fine. That's not a big deal. But my son did get interested in the show and then did start reading, but also senior year at college. And as he said, Robert Jordan really likes to talk about dresses. So that has fallen to the wayside a little bit while he makes sure he graduates.
Hey, Julie. Yes. Rebecca, did you point that out last week, right?
What was that?
That Maureen told Aldine to bring the horses back, like lead them back to the stables. Like she whispers that to Aldine.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Would Mandarb listen though? Like, I feel like Lan would have to tell Mandarb.
Not if it's Aldib. If it's Aldib leading the way.
That's true, because he understands that hierarchy.
Yes, I agree there.
I think that's a good point.
So in the trivia for this scene, it doesn't mention really that it just says that the ways were created during the Age of Legends. It doesn't say that they were created in the time after the breaking, so that male channelers can travel without going mad. It doesn't say any of that.
Yeah.
It just says that it was created after the breaking.
Do you think they're holding on to that? Do you think maybe we'll get a steading scene where we're told that?
Maybe. I'm thinking like the way they're giving us the information is just like whoever is the narrator giving us this information doesn't have all the information.
Right. Well, that's what we all love about the Wheel of Time, right? Everybody's so sure of themselves, but Robert Jordan would often say, "Why would you believe that person? Why would you think they knew
that
what
was
they were
one of
talking
my That was one of my favorite things. Someone was like, "Yeah, but he says it in this book," and Robert Jordan was like, "But who says it?" And he's like, "Ishamael," and you're like, "And you believed him?"
Yeah.
First of all, he's who he is, but also like it's proven time and again that nobody in the book really knows everything that's going on, right?
Yeah.
This is very true.
Yeah. So I like the ways, like I like this set. I just,
Yeah.
you know, and we know obvious reasons. They had to build this set last minute without any plan to have built it in the first place. So I get why it's minimal, but I hope with a better budget and plan and being able to plan ahead in future ways sets, it's a little bit more extensive.
I think they've given themselves I think they played it smart because this base gives you a lot of flexibility on what you grow it into.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, this is a very simple base of the ways. It's still scary. It's still creepy in its ways.
Yes.
Definitely.
You know, hey, in its ways. But when you spend more time in there, you can expand it very easily without destroying this initial scene.
And I just appreciate the fact that like we can still see their faces, you know, they're using some lighting because we want to see what the heck's going on, even though it's pitch dark in there.
Right.
Yeah, it also feels like the light is just from the torches as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you watch scenes where they have, I like this lamp, and suddenly it's like someone turned on a 500-watt bulb in their face.
Yeah.
That is one of my husband's pet peeves about watching anything from that's supposed to be like when there's no electricity. He's like, how is that one candle that bright?
Right. Yeah, no, they did a good job with the lighting in this scene, I think, which is a tough one to do.
Well, it's good because it does like really little pockets of light with all this darkness around it.
They did a good job keeping the balance of trying to make it seem like they have those little pockets of light while at the same time not being super close to the way it was in the books, because if it was, it would be boring as hell to watch this.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh, definitely.
Right. And Sean, I like Lan's line about the bet too, because like this is Lan flirting a little bit. This is it's like is this Lan flirting?
I loved it that he starts to flirt and then he like looks at her face and he's like, oh, okay, now's not the moment. I'm gonna stop.
She's a bit upset right now.
That is on brand for most hetero men, I think.
Yeah.
I can't speak from any other point as except getting hit on.
Man, I feel bad for Brian now.
So here's the thing. I have a thing for goofy white boys, and he was a goofy white boy at 15. So
there we go.
You have that going.
I know it's everybody's got a type. That apparently that is mine. And he drew a very nice picture of me and him looking at me all lovingly and goofy. So I was like, okay, I'll marry him. And here we are, almost 30 years later. Yeah.
Loving and goofy. Just perfect combination.
Yes.
So there is something about the ways I actually really dislike.
What is it?
And I feel that Jason, Gentle Giant in chat, mentioned it. I was like, really, why did they take Loyal? Like, I feel like he doesn't really like.
He read the thing. He did just read the signpost. But we were talking about this last episode too. I wish they had put made the way it was in the book, that Loyal was important because he needed to guide them through the ways. Like he needed to open it. He needed to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I'm okay with him not opening the gates. Fine, that Moraine does it. I can deal with that. But I feel like he read one stone, and then that was kind of all we saw. And then they just knew the way it felt like. I was like, it's a shame.
I think they cut out some stuff for Loyal,
because
unfortunately.
I got this. If it ever loads, there it goes. There's this picture of what could be maybe like an Ogier map of the ways.
I think that is. Yeah, I think that is it. But like in the book, it was so much more like Moraine needed him because he could feel it, because the one they find in the book is in the bottom of the shop, right? It's not just in the open field. He had to, so it made much more sense why she was like, we have to take him.
And I just thought this is probably. Oh, my bad, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say they are gonna like follow him in a minute, like when Matchin Shin shows up, then they follow him at that point. But I have to say I don't love that little part either. So it's like the writing is a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that I don't think that I want to correct myself. I don't think this is a map of the ways. This is probably like an ancient map where the way gates are in the.
Well, that's what I assumed you meant, Tom. So we were on it. We were good.
So they're like, they were going to go to a different gate, and then they're like, okay, the Matchin Shin is here, so like go to the Faldara gate, and they weren't planning on going there, but they're able to like run to get there. Like, I just don't like that bit of writing. Like it doesn't seem like they could possibly get to like a different gate that quickly and have it still be so close to where they were going in the first place. Like,
right, because they were in the ways of, I mean, I know time is different there, but like we have they don't even give us like an inclination of how long.
Well, they said the whole journey was going to take a day. I think they say that at some point, that the whole journey was going to take a day. So regardless, like they had this unplanned or earlier stop than they planned. And then all of a sudden they have to run to a different way gate, and they get there so quickly. Like, I don't know why they didn't just like have Matchin Shin show up when they were closer to their gate. Like, it's just a little bit too contrived for me.
Yeah,
but.
That's fair.
But I mean, at the same point, only so many episodes. This is the second to last.
And they had to do heavy rewriting.
The rewrites is what it probably came down to. Is they probably had to rewrite some stuff. So
I do want to say that I love how they did Matchin Shin. I think this is incredible.
I think this is much better than what it said in the book, because you know what I mean? Because this is going to hurt a lot more. Yes, I absolutely don't want the wind whispering about flesh and bones and how delicious it is. I don't like that. I don't like that.
No.
Yeah,
but this is much more the mind game that really is going to get to you.
It's like,
it's so much more interesting.
Someone whispering in your ear, rend the flesh from bone, tear, kill, blood. Like, that's like, while it's creepy, it's like someone whispering the worst possible thing that someone could possibly say to you specifically. Is
right. And it's scarier to know that this thing that's made of pure evil knows that about you.
Yes, agreed.
Right? Yeah. Like, it's so specific. Like, why do you know this about me?
Also that it's not even anything that's necessarily true. Like, it's just attacking people like wherever their
insecurities.
Yes. Whatever their insecurities are. Either not saying things that are it's not saying things that are necessarily true, but it knows what your weaknesses are.
Right. I mean, really, it is the embodiment of the negative voice that a lot of us have in the back of our head that we just have to tell to shut up. But like that, like, it's 10 times worse because it's coming from the outside. And also, I know this is evil. Like, I know this is bad.
I mean, what's scarier than having your own worst thoughts about yourself voiced back to you?
Right.
You know, really, let's think about it. You know, the deepest, darkest things I don't like about myself being voiced to me by an inanimate wind.
Right.
Yeah. And like here, this like kind of little extended scene here is like they're all kind of like sitting with it for a little bit, which is, you can see how much it affects them.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Loyal's costuming and makeup and stuff from the show grew on me. Like, the more every time I rewatch it, it grows on me more and more.
Right. Well,
I agree with this.
Yeah, really, we just had to get the idea that we had in our head. Like a lot of people with a lot of the characters, like that's not what I had. And we've had years of artists' interpretations, and like the ears aren't there. We all had to come to terms with that, right?
Do you know, I'm absolutely okay with the lack of ears, to be honest.
So I just wanted to see them twitch. I'm going to be honest. I just wanted to see them twitch when he was.
It would have been cute,
right? Like, I feel like that would have been super cute.
But on the other hand, I could see where that's a giant pain in the butt. And if they didn't get it right, it might look stupid. So
yeah, like elf ears.
Don't waste money on that. Don't waste money on that.
It's not that important. But I mean, I did have that moment of I missed the ears. But
I'm not a huge fan of the Waygates either.
Me either.
I'm willing to see what they do with them. If they like, what else? How else they build on them?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Yeah, and
if they, I was just gonna say, if they do some more with the original, like with the way that they worked in the books, like attaching them to the setting and stuff like that, and messing with them a little bit, I'll be a little bit better with it, but not.
Yeah,
right.
But there's
the second best moment of this episode.
Was Uno,
Guy Roberts.
Yes. I love Guy Roberts. He's so great.
Guy
is
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I just love the fact that he loves the series and loves the characters, and I just love to see when one of us gets to be part of it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know. It makes me
Like,
so
that's-
happy.
I can't imagine what he felt like when he was like, I get to be Uno! Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Like, he's been a fan. He literally has been a fan longer than anybody who is acting in the show. Obviously, Rafe.
I can't not think it either, Luke. I cannot not think it either.
Yeah, very much so.
I
I
love-
agree.
Like, so there's this joke thing that they do on Truth or Talk where everyone's like, Guy and Rob are like besties and blah, blah, blah. And then Light Blind before the real reason Rob wanted to be in this episode was Guy Roberts' debut.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God. Oh.
The only thing that I'd be interested in if they replace these with replace the portal stones with these is how are they going to do the time jump, or how are they going to adjust the timing of everything to not have to do the time jump? So.
Yeah. I think a lot of
Yeah.
things will be different, so they may not have to do a time jump, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but we all do want to see the flicker, right?
Yeah, I think if we run off the idea, because a lot of people like you just channel them differently, and then you can, use them in a different way as opposed to the way you've seen in this episode. I mean,
Right.
I suppose you could just say if you do it wrong, then you get a different experience, like Flick and Flicker.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that would be the easy way out. But I also think that there's so much information we didn't get in the books about the portal stones. Like they were one of those things that we didn't know about that I don't know that they would spend time on creating that. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there is nothing on them, because the only in-depth thing that we get from them is that they were actually an artifact left over from a time before the Age of Legends.
Yeah, so from our time. So we need to get on that. I don't know if they were mini Washington monuments or what. I don't know. But
with hieroglyphics on them.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think this is the scene where he comes through.
Yeah.
And
does.
I want to see 95% sure he tosses something that you see him
doesn't.
toss.
Don't
He doesn't?
think
I haven't
so.
seen it,
so
Just
watch the
watched it. And it's
As he goes
possible. No.
Then where did I see that? Like
It was in a deleted
positive.
scene. They
There's
showed
Did
us
I
the
see a deleted scene? Is that what happened? I saw a deleted scene.
Still, I think.
No.
I've only seen a still.
I've seen the still, but I swear to you, I saw him toss something as he's
and catch it.
standing and toss it and
Yeah.
catch it. But I could also be making it up because I'm getting up there in years.
It seems like something he would do.
Right.
Oh.
So maybe
Okay.
that's what it is.
So in the trivia for that scene, as Pat and Fane was walking out of the gate, the trivia for that scene is a way gate can be permanently locked, but most Ogier hesitate to tell the secret how. So
Yeah.
it sounds like they are tying it to the Ogier still. So that's
Well, I mean, I really am kind of hoping that they do, like, we get a steading scene at some point.
me too.
And
Yeah, I
like
think
maybe there, because like the kids from the village don't know, right? So maybe that's a chance for the Ogier to expand upon it. Like they've
Rafe
been through it.
hinted that we would see a studying because he was asked a question about Loyal surviving the dagger that he gets stabbed with in the next episode, and he says something like, "That's a question best answered in a steading." So he hints that we're going to see it.
maybe we'll get more tie into it.
Yeah.
I definitely think the jungle sort of parts of that season 2, was it behind the scenes thing we got a while back? I definitely think that's into a steading area. I think like a jungle take on a setting is the first steading we'll see, because I hope
That
we'll
could
see
be
more
cool.
than one.
Ooh, that's exciting. I didn't realize Willow comes out this soon. Who someone was in Willow? Who?
Yes.
Yeah, Amarchata Patel.
Yes.
Who played, well, he was supposed to be Ingtar, but then they changed the name of his character because of that.
Yeah, that's the guy that Lan hugs right in the beginning, or
Yes, the first guy. Yeah.
He
That's
greets
supposed to
him
be
before Uno. I don't think they hug, but yeah, that's him. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Karen, I had to convince my wife to rewatch the. She's never seen it. The original.
What?
Weirdly enough,
know.
I rewatched it like, I don't know, a year ago. I was flicking, I think it was on Prime actually. And I just happened to watch it. I'm like, my God, this is such a cool movie, but also so strange. Why did I watch this as a child? This is
Yeah.
Well, 'cause we
nightmare
didn't know
material
any
in so
better.
many ways.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. So, and then I found out, like, 2 or 3 months later that this was happening and he was moving across to Willow as a remake. And I was like, wow, okay, cool timing,
Yeah. I also need a list of movies Aaron has not seen, Tom.
It's extensive.
Because I might have to come to DordanCon early and just set it up in the room and make sure she has seen what she should see.
I mean,
yes,
that sounds like a
Stud
track.
Monkey. It's right.
Yeah,
I fixed it.
That sounds like a track at JordanCon, just the movie theater.
I mean, and so Min, I know a lot of people were not happy with the Min casting. I love how she plays Min.
I do deserve it.
I love her.
Oh, she's great. She's absolutely fantastic.
I've never been a strong Min fan. Like, I don't dislike her, but I'm not like, yay, Min.
Right.
So I was very impartial to this casting. I was just like, I'm interested to see what she does. I like the direction they're going, but I wasn't like up or down either
you
way.
weren't
So
that.
Yeah, I'm the same. I liked Min, but like everyone always like, oh, well, Min was so important because she kept him grounded and like she was the thing that was keeping him. He was not sane.
No, he wasn't.
Like she did not do her job well. Like she was not keeping him grounded.
All right.
He was an arrogant, horrible person.
Let's not start any Min discourse.
We do not want Matt Hatch to come over here. So
no Min discourse.
We don't want to call up Matt by talking bad about Min.
But, he turns up in chats when we start doing things like this.
She's going to do something interesting. I don't want us to skip it because, in a second.
Oh, yes.
But
yeah, I got nothing for you there, unless it's maybe part of the flicker. That's the only thing I could think of, but they might not be doing that. So
I don't know, but I like the way they did her visions.
Yeah, I think they're brilliant. Yeah, yes. I agree.
I like the rest of Min's character in the book though. Like she's great. Like her fighting and like her snarkiness. She's kind of got this no nonsense
when
thing.
She says no idea about who Rand's baby is, she takes a sip right then. I think she's lying, and she's
like it's her baby
too.
Well, I don't know, but like she knows the answer, and she's just not telling Maureen.
Now, I have an idea that might not be.
We might be getting into spoilers here, guys, so just careful.
Yeah. This is
but in the next episode, we do see a scene that could be what was implied there, because what Min sees isn't Garrett. It's
she could be seeing something from
option.
Yes, that is quite possible. So my main point is just that not what the baby is that she's seeing, but just that she doesn't tell Maureen the truth.
No,
I think when she takes that sip, it's a little tell that she's lying.
She's hiding, or she's trying to hide whatever her.
Right.
And later in this episode, we know she's hiding stuff from Maureen because she tells Rand a huge thing that she didn't tell Maureen.
Yeah, very true.
But I mean, we also know that Min knows some other things, so she already has a reason to protect certain people.
Yeah. So anyway,
I also like the fact that Min and Maureen seem to not like each other.
Well, no, she just doesn't trust her. I wouldn't trust her either.
Yeah, but I like that. I think that's a fun dynamic that they've had in the show. Yes. They're both there. She's like, the broody. Well, they're both brood. They're both big and they both brood. Like there was snapping going both ways. Right. I like that. So.
I am sure
Maureen's a little salty in this episode in general.
Yeah.
Yes, but I am sure Min is like, if you don't stop coming in here and asking me these questions, I don't know. Like I've told you, I don't know.
I think it's
probably tell you.
It's probably the same as Min in the books, where it's like she doesn't want to be used.
Right. All right. So this scene right here, I will say, not in the book. But interesting choice. Like it was an interesting way to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I know a lot of people hate this. And I mean, my feeling pretty strongly about this whole scene is that like a lot of what happens is like directly due to Matchin Shin. And that if Matt had been there, they would have had some conflict, but it would have been a different one. Like it would have played out differently if Matt had been there. It just would have been some other manifestation of Matchin Shin, like getting to them and them I think blowing up in some way.
I think it would have been more of the conflict would have been Matt and Rand, because in the books that's where we get it, right? It's more Matt and Rand. I think it is very weird to bring Perrin into it, because from what we know about Perrin, that wouldn't have been a thing, right? It wouldn't.
Yeah, I think they shifted the content of the conflict when Matt wasn't there. And I think you're right. I think it probably would have been more centered on Matt. And instead, because he's not there, we have to center it a little bit more around Perrin.
Right.
And
it just doesn't feel right.
So I think they played that up a little bit more to give them something else to fight about, basically.
Yeah, I like that, Arosa. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, and so that's another thing. We're all looking at this from a lens of I know this story. I don't know how they're going to tell it, but I don't know how we're going to get there, but I know what the end is. Where people who have never seen it before, like they might be completely like, I don't. This is a whole new thing.
Yeah, a love triangle too.
Right,
like,
and I'm sure it may have made more sense to somebody who didn't have that history behind it, because they did put Egwene and Perrin together a lot. You did kind of see, you know what I mean? Like they kind of set it up.
So, I mean, the thing about I get testy when everyone is like, oh, it's a love triangle. I'm like, it's not a love triangle, guys. Like this is going nowhere, right?
Right, no, it's not a triangle. It's not a triangle.
And they
resolve
it.
Arosa, so have you read the books then as of yet, Arosa?
I think Arosa said earlier that she watched the show as a non-reader and has now finished the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my parents watched the show because of how much I do, and my mum likes to support me. Thank you, Mum. And she never once mentioned this bit. It wasn't like an outlier. She was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's just what they put in that scene." Like it didn't stand out to someone who's not read the books as weird.
Right. So. Right, like it made sense with the way it was set up, but it's just we know that's not right.
We
know the characters.
I will say, like that, there are people who pick up on some little crush type feelings for Perrin for Egwene in the book, also. So it's not completely out of nowhere. And also, like if we take into the fact the idea that they're slightly older, slightly more mature. I think it's very reasonable that you would have in a close knit community, this close kind of like friend group around the same age, that these kinds of things happen, and it would go nowhere, right? Like this isn't going anywhere. That's kind of the main point. It's like they're only blowing up about it because of Matchin Shin and the tension they're under. Otherwise, it just would have been nothing, And
also, there's the added tension of they've lost Matt, right? Matt's not with them. That's a whole nother thing. They don't know who to trust. They're in this place they've never been in before.
I mean, they've also been told if you go to the Eye and you're not the dragon, you're going to die.
And they have to decide
so, now we got to decide who's going.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
it's like my option is we all go to the Eye, and those of us that don't die become the dragon and go insane and die.
And Rand knows he's the dragon at this point.
He does,
right?
And he knows that if anyone else that comes with him is going to die, so now he's like, now I got to protect all these people.
Right.
Yeah.
True. And I think that Moraine telling them that in that way was also deliberate. Like she doesn't know who it is. So she says that like she might induce one of them to come like speak up if they know something that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So I think that was deliberate.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was absolutely deliberate. And I think she's hoping the wind maybe said something. Like the wind, you know what I mean? Like
that's good thinking. I hadn't considered that. I love that.
Honestly, I think she noticed like she didn't channel that Trolloc off the bridge in the waves.
Right.
And she probably noticed that.
That's a good point. And she might have realized that it wasn't Egwene even.
Yeah.
Well, she would have known if it was one of the women. She would have known.
Right, she would have known. She would have known if it was one of the women.
Yeah.
Right.
So it only could be Perrin or Rand. So she's just hoping that whichever one it is, comes and protects them.
Right. She's given them an extra inducement to speak up if they know something that she doesn't know. And so that was a tactic.
Right.
That, hey, it works too.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good point, Rurs. Yeah. So like the reason he's being so protective of her at this point, I totally agree with this, is not because he has feelings for her romantically, but because he owes her his life.
But I will say it does also fall in line with Perrin's very protective character, especially since he killed somebody now, like he's almost got to make amends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense that he
So-
would
so
protect her. She's the only one that knows his secret at this
Right.
point. Yeah. And Rand is kind of being a jerk to Egwene because he does that sometimes. So.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he
He's-
gets crazy emo sometimes. He gets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
It is
he's
a
emo.
lot. It is a lot.
So the trivia for this scene makes me so happy that they
Oh.
left this bit of trivia in the lore for the show.
Okay.
The trivia for this is Moiraine and Lan first met traveling after the Battle of the Shining Walls. Neither seemed to like the other very much. Lan tossed Moiraine into a pond, and in retribution, Moiraine caused the ants to attack Lan in the night.
Yes,
I
Nice.
love it.
That's
that
great.
is that is great.
I kind of don't think we'll ever get a flashback scene of that in the show, but I do love it.
I do love it because you know what? What is better than seeing a young, unsure Moiraine? Like I know you've been Aes Sedai for a while and you got it together now, but you're also a
Yeah.
person. Like,
Yeah.
She's a human being. Yeah.
right, you
This
are
is
a
great.
person. That's very important. Being an Aes Sedai, you need to remember you're still a person. That's part of the
Yeah.
problem.
Which is what she's trying to remind Lan of right now, really.
Right.
Like she is trying to remind him that, like, because she's thinking she might die,
You know what would be,
and she wants him to remember there's other things to live for.
you know what would be really cool if they did a flashback scene and they just use Rosamund Pike with no CG or nothing, because that could show the slow aging that Aes Sedai have.
Oh.
Yes. Also,
If they
I
use a
love-
younger actor for Lan, because it's
Yeah,
20
they-
years. 20
right.
years, you could change a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But they use Rosamund Pike with nothing, just Rosamund Pike from Moiraine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
They would be
I
aging
love
her
that.
up a little bit from what age she was in the book at that point, but like
Yeah.
not that much. Like
No,
No.
not that much.
Not
Not that it
enough
would make a
that it
difference.
matter, right?
But do you think the average viewer is like, especially some of those book cloaks and that out there, going to be like, why doesn't she look young?
oh god.
So, and you know what
I
my
don't care
you know what my
what they
response
say.
to them would be is, why don't you look young? Like
Nice. I love it.
I'm
You
just
should be
saying.
moisturizing.
That's
Yes.
right. Moisturize and mind your business. Let me enjoy
Exactly.
it.
Moisturize,
I was-
like
I was hoping you
Daniel
remembered. I was hoping
and-
you
Yeah.
Oh, I've said it several times, Tom. I've said it several times.
Oh, and here we go.
Oh, what
we're
the heck
getting
happened?
up towards our his Jedi movement
Oh.
trick.
Yes.
We
And
lost.
teleports.
Where'd Rebecca go?
We lost her,
Oh no.
and then for some reason it went into this mode. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say I've never seen this, Tom. I don't know what's
Me
happening
either.
right now.
I don't know how it won't let me change it.
I won't let you change it. That's no good.
Light blinded fool. Tom,
Moisturize and mind your business.
I'm just giving it life.
Yeah. So yeah, but this, I don't know how you feel, Ebony, but this moment is crazy. Like
Yes.
looking in, he's like, I love that we get
Yes.
Bukama and
Yes.
and the family and the dinner. This is a beautiful
Are
scene.
you
Yes.
are you sure it's Bukama?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure it's Bukama.
Okay.
I feel it
Because
has
we
to
don't. There's nothing in the show yet that has 100% definitively said that yet.
That's true. So I mean, really, us as book readers are making that assumption.
I'm betting money on it. So that's a question. Is this Bukama in the scene? I feel
I
like it's a
doubt
slightly
we're gonna
basic
get
question.
that. We're
Yeah.
not getting that for sure.
No.
Well, so here's my bigger concern, and I don't know if it happens or not. But is this nice gentleman and family gonna die? Because I don't want that to happen.
Well, you know, this isn't the woman in this scene the one from the ends of one of the channelers?
She may be. I'll be
Yes.
honest. Sometimes I get distracted when Land's on screen because
I
Barney's
mean-
not in this episode. So
I just keep flashing back to his ass, and that's
I mean,
Wait, this is normally where I'd put on the butt rock button, but you should have warned me. I would have preloaded it for you.
sorry.
Sent you the link. So
oh, Luke
I'm
Ison.
gonna need you to send it to me at some point. I mean, he is Malkiri, obviously.
No, he's
Yes.
here according to the chat.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and he is
X-ray
Mercury,
names him as
yeah.
Zahir.
I just
Or-
love how excited he is to see Nynaeve. Like he's so happy.
Because
Yeah.
you know,
Girl.
Land hasn't been bringing home a woman. Like
No,
he's
I
like,
know,
Land, you
yeah.
need a woman. Like
Yeah.
you need something to live for. It's
Is-
cool, you're a warder, but you need a
I-
girlfriend.
I think if it is Bukama, like it's still, even though he calls him Zahir, I think he's hiding who he is.
If
he's
changed the
Bukama,
name,
like-
I suppose. Yeah.
I feel at the very least this has got to be a tribute to Bukama.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, yeah.
and I feel like he would be this old if he was still alive at this
I
stage.
feel like he would be even older. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like he was old in New Spring, and that was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
But I
and
do
this
love
is where
that.
everyone sees Lan as a,
Yes.
daddy.
Yeah.
He's
I
so
will
good with,
say-
he's so good with that kid.
Beforehand, I mean, a different kind of daddy. Never mind.
Yeah.
Both.
But I
I meant
use that
both.
word because I know everyone you seeing it everywhere.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So
Daddy Lan.
make sure to be putting your questions in chat, everybody. Get your questions in for this episode.
Yes.
yes.
So I'm gonna ask you guys, what is your opinion about what happens next? Because I know there were some people up in arms like Nynaeve would never,
Nah.
and
I
I'm
love
like,
it. I don't
I love
care.
I'm like
I-
Nynaeve
yeah.
absolutely would. She
And
would
then,
deny it.
yeah. Let's
She might deny it talking to Egwene
maybe
and the boys,
maybe.
but
But
she
that's-
absolutely
I mean,
would because
that's it's just a puritanical way of seeing
Yeah.
things. Like a lot of cultures are a lot more, I don't want to say lackadaisical, but like,
Yeah.
they're a lot more easygoing with sex. And
different values are placed on certain acts.
And the
Yeah.
thing
Oh.
is, in this show, they've updated that, right? So in the
Right.
books, the Two Rivers has a very puritanical attitude towards sex,
Yeah.
and it's kind of outdated, and it wouldn't really like make a whole lot of sense to really
Yeah.
stick with that. And so
Right.
they've updated that for the culture in general. So yeah, and under that circumstance, like Nynaeve would go for it. Like
Absolutely.
But
you know.
also, she there's a very good chance that she might die tomorrow. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
this may be the end. Like even if she wouldn't under regular circumstances, if there was
Yeah.
ever a time
Mhm.
to this right here,
Yeah.
this scene right here is the time. This
Yep.
is
oh yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
is
love
just it's
everything-
illegal how good looking this man is.
It should
Mhm.
be.
tell me.
I like that they gave him a lot of scars and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
yes,
appreciate that.
yes,
I think that's
yes.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I mean, I love this for Nynaeve. She comes in his room, like, go
Yes.
get it, girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I like that she takes the initiative. I like how
Mhm.
Yeah,
there's
agreed.
never a mention of like, oh, it's premarital sex. I like how there's no
Yeah.
mention of that
Just
ever.
doesn't
Not even
matter.
one time.
Yeah. We just don't
Yeah.
need to have that attitude in the show. It's just not needed.
We don't need that
Yeah.
attitude anywhere anymore.
And frankly, like in the books,
Apocalypse
it
is about
ends
to
up
happen.
where like lots of people have sex without being married in the books anyway. So it doesn't even
Yeah.
matter.
I mean,
You know.
and it's not like there's a legal system going on like we have in this country with marriage. I mean, what is marriage in the Wheel of Time except a ceremony and like,
promise.
all right,
Yeah.
we're good. It's us. We're us
And
now.
Nynaeve knows whatever herbs she needs to take for birth control. So she's all
Oh,
set.
yeah.
I'm
Like,
sure
when we
she
learn
already
about that-
took it. I'm sure
Mhm.
that's what took
That's
her a minute
probably
to
why
come
she
back.
didn't go
Yeah,
straight
that's
in.
why
She's
she didn't go
like,
straight
I gotta
in.
go
Yes.
get that
She's
herb.
like, let me go get my
Look
pouch.
at my herb.
I
Yeah.
know I
Let
have
me
some
get
of
my
that in
milk
here
and
somewhere.
Get some tea. It's tea.
Yeah.
It is tea.
I
Yeah,
always
it's
keep
tea.
that on me just in case.
It is
Yes.
hot meat tea, if you're curious.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she's good.
Based on a real herb from northern Egypt that is now extinct.
Mm.
Well, and I wonder why.
Rand is being very emo.
So
Yeah.
Again.
so yes.
Yeah, I have to go and be alone.
I will say I
Wanna
do
shoot
like the
things.
way Yosha is playing it. Like I feel like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing a good job as Rand.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
great job. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like he's doing a good job. Like, yeah,
He's a pretty perfect Rand. Let's
Yeah.
just say.
yeah, he's got a little bit of that
Yeah.
Kylo Ren vibe going on. Like, let me have this temper tantrum
Yeah.
because things are not going quite the way I had planned.
Yeah, the timbre of his voice is the way he delivers his lines is great because then when he gets truly angry at some point, you know
Yeah.
it's going to be really impactful because he's
Right.
not, dropping at just putting that down at the drop of the hat. It's
Yeah.
like it's going to wait for something to really tip him over the edge. And
The
then it's
person-
gonna be,
I can't wait to see you get angry is Loyal.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
yes,
Bring it.
And we
There's-
know he's
there's-
going to be doing some fighting in the next season from the trailers that we got.
I mean,
Yeah.
he he should. Like he got stabbed.
At the very least, he's
Um,
screaming at someone in that's behind the scenes. So
Mhm.
So I also like just on the whole going back to the whole like is this a love triangle thing or whatever, it's like they don't even talk about Perrin here. Like that's
Yeah.
not
No,
why
yeah.
Wayne is mad. Like Wayne is mad about what he said about Matt because that's what he
That's
said that
right.
was hurtful.
Right.
Yes.
And so again it just shows that like that is like it's not really that important. And so people have like attached more importance to that than even the characters do.
Right.
That's a good point, Jason.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes.
definitely.
But this scene hurts too because it's like, you know, Rand knows he's saying things like, yeah, I'll go to the White Tower, I'll be your warder. He knows that's not going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but he's just trying to like, I think.
One more night of happiness before he goes off by himself.
And I think
Yeah.
they have good
Got it.
chemistry.
Agreed.
They have good on-screen chemistry.
They do. They do. They do.
Yeah.
I which the characters never had in the books, but
No.
they do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they definitely feel comfortable around each other.
Mhm.
You know, like they've been dating for as long as they've been dating in the show.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have absolutely no complaints about any of the actors and any of their acting in the show.
No.
Like the casting director was amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All of the acting is on point. Like, love it.
Like and just beyond in a lot of cases, like some of the acting is just like so good. Like I'm just can't believe we
Mhm.
got so lucky to get some of the
Right,
actors
right.
that we got. So
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed,
like
yeah.
finding these no-name actors ish, like some of them.
yeah,
you know,
but
Right.
pretty
obviously-
much, yeah.
Right. But also the fact that the majority of them, not the majority, but a lot of them are younger than the series itself. It's not like these are people
Yeah.
that grew up with the series. Like a lot of them, like I know some of them. I think Yosha's the only one that's finished the series. Like they're still
so.
kind of
Yeah.
reading, but they're able to grasp the character. You know what I mean? Like they are very good at putting what was written in a lot of words
Yeah.
on a page on screen.
yeah,
a lot of the choices they made, I was like, I like that. Like, I like what they did with that. I like how they did that. I like, you know, what they're doing here and what they're doing there, and you know the ways they combine things. So.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this scene with Lan still in bed
Mhm.
does make me laugh a little bit because, you know, he's meant to be like the Uber. I'm always prepared. I'm always alert. I'm always aware. And then, you know, I hook up
Well,
with Nynaeve,
yeah.
and it's just like, well, I'm going to be half asleep, and you're going to get out and get dressed, and I'm not going to notice. And yeah, it's cute.
It is cute.
He did Light Blinded Fool.
Oh,
He
I did much earlier. Don't worry. Yes.
Yeah, we talked about it for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah. I think I
and
said his
then-
name 27 times. So.
So this part where he tells her his history, I really like that they did it this way. Like, you know, in the book, the way we learn about Lan's history is different. And I just love that that he's telling her directly because there's more impact.
There is, because you know this is not something he talks about, right?
No.
Like this is not information he would share.
Right.
This is why I think that it's, you know, the tribute to Bukama, because he's saying that that guy was one of the
Mhm.
guys that smuggled him out
Right,
on the night that
right,
Mount Fear fell.
right.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, I think it's probably the show's version of Bukama.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Which I
so-
love that they throw those things in there for us.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
Speaking of throwing something in there for us, I have to remind me that I want to say something about that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to get too
Later.
far off topic. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with this episode.
All right. So we'll focus on.
You joke, Jason, but that's going in the run as a considered question to post for Rafe.
nice.
I like it.
That is a great question.
And when you give me
and-
power, I will do things at my whim.
Yeah. And just to follow up, I will ask as well if Rafe doesn't answer that one. I'll be like, Rafe didn't answer it. Guy, tell us.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was another weird little tidbit I thought they did with the wisdom never wedding thing. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is they mentioned it earlier too.
Yeah.
When Egwene and Rand are sitting up on the mountain, they mention it then also.
you know
Yeah,
what that's weird about too? Like, often we know that often the wisdom would be someone who can channel. Like Nynaeve says, not all the wisdoms can actually listen to the wind, but the ones who can, are special. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So if they didn't wed, that doesn't necessarily mean they didn't have children. But I would think that they're probably less likely to have children if they're not going to get married.
Yeah.
Less likely, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. The good old flashbacks.
Yeah, and I know I've gotten hate for this for years, ever since they announced that they were doing this, and I said I didn't want freaking Narg in the damn show. I'm glad he wasn't in the damn show.
Yeah, no talking Trollocs, thanks.
Yeah, I also agree. I like that they gave more attention to a singular Trolloc.
Yeah.
So that as book readers, we were like, well, that was Narg,
That's
obviously.
Narg. We know it's Narg. He doesn't need to talk. Yeah.
He doesn't need to talk, exactly.
Yeah.
I
watched this I didn't watch it with him, but a friend of mine who I play games with and I'm in Discord with a lot had never read the books and watched this, and me and him talked like after each episode, and he said he was legit, like he had like goosebumps. Oh, there's the penis. In this scene, he was like, "Oh, I was so surprised. He definitely thought it was Perrin." Like,
yeah,
really
cool.
Nice.
I mean, you definitely have people who do figure it out, which is normal. But yeah, not everybody's going to.
Right. And that's exactly what that's why they did it the way they did. That's why they made the changes to Matt and Perrin to make it much more difficult.
Yeah. No, I liked the way that they did it in this episode. Like, and I'm always really curious to see how people who didn't read the books before react to it. But I did like the way they revealed it in this episode.
Yes, I did. Like, I was so excited. You should have. I will say my son had figured it out, and I honestly don't know if it's because he's heard me talk about it so much in the past, and he kind of subconsciously knew.
Could be, yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was like, "It's him," because he's the one. And like, Avi hasn't seen the whole thing, but she knows the relationship between her character and Rand, because she was giving Egwene side eye at the beginning. She's like, "Looks like he likes her." So
and if you actually go and read the book, like, it is obvious that Rand is the Dragon Reborn. He's the first character. He's literally the first character we see after the prologue, and he has like what 70% of the on page.
My friend was reading it, and he was, I don't know, like 12 chapters in. He's like, we've spent more time with Rand than any other character. So I feel like he's the most important character in this story.
Yeah, it's not
that
hard.
was how he worded it. And then we got, I know that's a debatable way to say it, but then we got further along, and he was like, well, clearly he's going to be the important person. We're trying to track that, who's the dragon and stuff.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, okay, because obviously I was trying not to spoil things for you.
Right.
But I love this part particularly. Like, I love that Min is part of it. And then, I mean, this part of the scene where, like, the way she looks at Tam when she realizes that she can like trust him.
The relief is incredible.
Just floods her.
She did what the Aes Sedai told her she had to do. She fulfilled her part. And it's.
I think the CGI on sort of aging down Tam works quite well here, because obviously he's meant to look a bit younger, and it doesn't look bad, but he does look younger than he can. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten really good with those things.
Yeah. But yeah, like Blindful just said in chat, the way they come back to the cold open, they're doing with a lot, like, episode 1 and episode 8 are meant to like reflect each other, like they were doing that within episodes at the end of episode, at the end of between the season.
It's a really cold open too, because it's in the snow.
Yeah, I don't know, but is it because it's hot blood going everywhere? So,
but also non-book readers didn't know the significance of that fight in the beginning, right? Like we all knew. Like, we were all like, what is this? Yes. And I'm sure non-book readers were like, why is that pregnant lady fighting? Like, who is fighting?
Why are we watching this? Why is this important?
Right. So I do like how they brought that back, and then everybody's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those aspects of this episode, like this reveal, the way it ties into the cold open, were like so strong to me.
Yes.
So that's like really
Mhm.
elevates this episode. You know, there's just some really, really good parts of this episode for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Nynaeve's episode
Ah,
is my favorite, but this
the-
is the
Oh, sorry. Go
my
ahead.
second favorite. I was just gonna say this is like my second favorite.
Yeah,
episode.
it's up there. It's up there.
This is my favorite episode.
The trivia for that scene with Tam mentions that he became the second captain of the companions. So he's like, the companions are like the elite troops
Mhm,
in the
right.
alien. So he was number 2 in that.
He's a badass.
Yeah. The guy's
Yeah,
got
I
some
want to
moves.
say in the Wheel of Time companion, it gives like a whole. His entry is long. Tam's entry, it gives all
Big,
the
yeah.
background and it tells.
It's
So if
all
you
the
don't have
notes
the Wheel of
from
Time companion, yeah,
Everything they
You'll
were
have
gonna
it.
write
Go get
in
it.
the
in the book.
right.
Yeah.
Like
in the
that's the
prequel.
That is the closest we're going to get to the prequel. Is
Yeah.
those notes.
I like Luke's just said in chat. I love Egwene catching Nynaeve coming back.
I love
Yes.
it.
It's just
too.
like this bed has not been slept in.
I was like,
nice.
look at this.
Yes.
I really love that too.
And how Nynaeve's kind of like, I couldn't sleep.
And?
Like,
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Right,
she
and also-
should have been like, and did you see land? Like,
Yeah.
Like-
Have you seen that butt rock?
Exactly.
yeah, that's a good point, Rose. I want to just go and watch that scene with the audio
Oh,
descriptions
Mhm.
for that to see
Mhm.
how the audio describer describes that scene.
Yeah.
If they mention the void at all.
I will say, Marcus does a really good like hurt puppy look with
Oh,
his
yeah.
head tilted
Oh,
down and his eyes
yeah.
up.
He
And
does.
Do you
then
mean do you mean that both literally and figuratively?
yes,
Mhm.
I do. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. We joke that eventually one day Daniel Henney's going to find out, and that's going to be an interesting day.
I don't know why y'all think he doesn't know.
I was just gonna say I would not be at all
Internet.
surprised.
You know,
If he
even-
didn't already know.
Even if Daniel Henney himself doesn't look at it, you don't think Sarah's telling him this
Yeah.
stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He
Yeah.
knows. He
Plus-
absolutely knows.
And Rafe, they know a lot of our shenanigans. I mean, I
Yes.
feel very exposed. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they
Yes.
know a lot of our
But-
nonsense.
But
So
this
Yeah.
is the only way we're going to get them to come to cons. We have
It's
to
true.
like
yeah.
entice them. Like, look at how much fun these people are having. We should go
Yeah.
hang out with them.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So
Just
And
make
I
sure
feel like
we don't go too crazy or they're
Well,
like, oh no, these people are nuts.
well, no, I feel like Sarah's explaining things to them. Like they're
Yes.
harmless. They're harmless. They're just enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Except that
it's,
one.
it's very respectful
They're just
thirsting. It's
nerds,
okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Except if you go to Jordan Con and you meet a guy who calls himself Hopper, like just stay away from him. Nah, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, Ross is really the one.
It's true.
Ross is the one that just Avi thinks
Hopper
Ross
is amazing. I'm just
Yes.
lying. I love you. I love you, Hopper.
Avi thinks Ross is the best thing since sliced bread.
I mean, he is.
Also, he has a
Listen, have you ever danced when his nipples were exposed? Because I have
Yes.
danced with him when his nipples were exposed.
I haven't danced with him.
Every year.
I've definitely seen his nipples.
Oh, yeah.
Also, he
All right.
he drives a Tesla, and that is Avi's car of choice. So he's just getting
Just a-
all the brownie points.
Yeah, just to get all the points there. I love that.
Yes.
I'm really hoping that it's just this area of the blight that looks like this.
I
the
was
rest of
about
the
to say
blight?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with this.
the
either.
blight is a big letdown for me.
Yeah, I was like,
personally.
I needed like worms can't get through that.
Like,
Giant worms
like-
can't.
Yeah, and how do you march an army through that?
Yeah,
How do you march an army through that? You know how long it would take to march an army through that?
Right. Like you would
Yeah,
march
I
you'd
mean-
march around it first.
It does not need to all be that though. Like it could
Yeah.
just be a
Right,
part of it.
right,
So,
and that's like Rob said. Maybe that it's like that because that's a special area. It's protecting itself,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, it's the end of the world if they stick with that as the blight forever. But
No, but I
Yeah.
mean,
I it's a letdown for me on a
They
personal level.
have time to do different things, right? Like
Yes.
it's not like we're gonna be like spending any time in the blight anytime soon.
No,
So-
in the trivia for this,
Necessarily, maybe.
it does mention that here the corruption of the Dark One has seeped into every insect, animal, and plant. So like that's still like it was in the books.
Right.
Maybe
right.
we just didn't see it yet. Like, so
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I just you have to remember in the books they absolutely rode the horses in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
they covered a lot more distance. It took them
Right.
well over a day to get
Yeah.
to where they were going. So
Right, because they
On
went
horseback.
because they saw the 7 towers, right?
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
so, like with them all not going, we didn't get to Nynaeve didn't get to see that. Like she got to see something much better in the episode. But
Yep, she did.
all right. Before we go too far, I just want to mention to everybody, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
We're gonna hang out for about 13 more minutes, and
Very precise.
yes,
Yeah.
well, 10:30.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like round numbers, so I was like, 10:30. Why not?
Excellent.
Now see, this is where we differ. It was me. I'd be like 10:29.
My OCD would be like, I hate you, Rob.
it's got
the,
to end in 0 or 5. Those are
Yeah.
the only right
Ebony's
times.
got me.
Everything else is
I feel this. Yeah, I understand.
So just make sure to get your questions in now. Please make them specific about this episode. We are going to pick the best 4, and if you ask a question that's obviously going to get rafoed, we're not going to pick it. So
Yeah.
give us a good question. We've gotten some good ones already. I would just like to I'd like to get some more in there.
Give us all we got, because the more the better. We can pick stronger,
Yeah.
questions
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
are more likely to get answered.
And then I want to mention the thing. All right, so back to what I was saying before.
okay.
I interviewed Michael Livingston last week, and one of the questions I had for him, we were talking about he brought up the show, so then we were talking about the show a little bit. He loves it, by the way. He loves he said from a writer's perspective, it's up on the Dragon Mind Instagram, but so I'm paraphrasing him here because I don't remember exactly what he said. But he said he loves as a writer, as an author, he likes the choices that they made on how they changed and condensed things to go from book to screen. And he enjoyed seeing the way they did things with that. And he can't wait to see how they do more things. So
Nice.
That being said, I said, well, one of my favorite things that was from that we got that was completely not from the books, and I actually have, this is a 2-part question. I've said this before on the show, but I brought up the very opening scene, the very first scene of episode 1, when the women's circle are braiding and Nynaeve are braiding Egwene's hair, and they go through the whole ceremony, and Nynaeve has this like one kind of throwaway line that's just real fast. She says, if you're ever feeling scared or alone, and you touch this braid, all of the women who braided your hair are there with you, and all of the women who ever, the way she words it are basically like all of the women who have ever braided hair in the women's circle for another woman are there with you.
Yes, she is all of the Jedi.
Yes. So
Yeah.
So I liked that. Like personally, I really like that because it added depth to Nynaeve's braid tugging from the books.
Yes.
Instead of just being like, look, I'm a woman and blah, 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 blah. It was
It seemed like a tantrum almost from Nynaeve.
Exactly. So I asked
people.
Yeah, exactly. So my second part of that question was, we had just got done talking about how Michael Livingston had gone to the college, Charleston College, and had read like those notes extensively. He had unfettered access to those notes, to Robert Jordan's notes. For those who don't know, those are all of Robert Jordan's notes on the Wheel of Time are stored at Charleston College in South Carolina, and anyone can go there and look at them. You have to make an appointment, call the college, make an appointment. You're not allowed to take pictures of them. You're not allowed to do any of that stuff. And if anyone tries to do that, you're not cool. You're a piece of shit, and don't do that because that is how they lock them down and no one ever gets to see them again. So don't do that.
Yeah.
People have tried to do that in the past, and we're not going to respect you for that. So don't do that. But I asked him, was that something that was from the notes, or something, or was that an entire invention of them? And he said, I did not see anything like that when I was doing my research, but I wasn't looking for anything like that. But I did look into Nynaeve and Egwene and stuff like that. So, and he said he didn't see it. So tentatively say that that's a complete creation of Rafe's and the show writers. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we see her in lots of moments in throughout later episodes where she's like touching the braid, and it's not it's not a tug.
Right.
But it does call back to that moment. So it was a nice choice, that had payoff in multiple scenes.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
agree.
just looking through.
That was I really like that question that just came in from Light Blinded Fool about why Agomar is less trusting of Aes Sedai.
I have that same question. I like that one too. I think that's a good one to consider. Like what made them want to make that change for Agomar? Because it's definitely a change.
It is, because I was going to say, in the books, he is like
He's-
all in.
Yeah,
He's
all of the
deferential.
Borderlanders
Right.
are.
He's very, very
Right, they're-
deferential to Aes
well,
Sedai, and
I
like
think
here
it's
he's being
because-
like purposely like inflammatory towards Moraine. Like he is
Right.
poking her
But
at the beginning.
I
and
do
then he
think
backs off,
it's somewhere they mentioned like that the White Tower wasn't like sending reinforcements. Like it's absolutely easier to fight the Dark One's hordes with the one power. And I could be making this up, but I feel like he mentioned something about how they've been defending the Borderlands without the White Tower's help.
Yeah,
He-
but I
he
would say
thinks
that's similar in the books where the Aes Sedai weren't sending people either. So it's still they making a different choice. So I'm
They
curious.
are because absolutely in the books he was like kissing Moraine's feet. Like he was all about Moraine. And
all of the Borderlanders like have
they very
utmost
respectful.
Respect for of the
Right,
Aes Sedai.
very very respectful. I feel like the Borderlanders had more Aes Sedai advisors than any other.
Yeah, they were the only ones that openly had an Aes Sedai
Right,
advisor.
there was
they were
a
okay
lot of
about it,
people sneaking around.
Yeah.
But like they were like, absolutely, I'm going to ask this Aes Sedai.
Yeah, them and Andor were the only ones that had open.
Andor,
right. And with Andor, that was a whole political movement. You know what I mean? Like that was part of an agreement because that it made political sense.
Yeah. So I think that's a good question. I think that should definitely be in the mix. Yeah.
I agree.
All right. So Rob, you said this was your favorite episode.
Yes.
What's your favorite part of this episode?
Oh, I think we know.
I mean, that's a given, isn't it?
Yeah, we know.
It's Guy Roberts.
He's so fantastic. I can't wait to because we know we're going to get so much more of him next season.
Yes,
I'm so excited for that. Yeah,
I cannot wait to see Uno just swearing continuously.
Yes,
oh my God.
I absolutely. I want it to be so popular that this is what elementary school kids start using.
Yes,
like this is what I want to hear on the playground. Like,
I want people to understand why book fans love Uno.
Yeah.
Because here we are, like overreacting to like his tiny moments, but like I want everyone to love him.
Are they going to use Wheel of Time curses, or are they going to just use real curses?
They've got to use some. They've already used one when they first get to Tar Valon. Matt and Rand use one. I feel like they're going to drop them here and there. I feel like they're absolutely going to use goat kissing because that's fun to say.
Goat kissing is great.
Keep going.
Yeah.
But do you think he's going to be yelling like flaming, or just straight up just yelling, the
other F-bomb?
Yeah.
I feel like they would stick with flaming.
Yeah. I actually asked this of Michael and Kate once. I actually asked them the question about whether they should use real world swearing in the show or stick with the books or do a mix. And we talked about it, and Kate's like, you know what? There's absolutely a time and place to use it. You can mix them together. Some of them just won't work on the screen. They just don't fit. Mother's Milk in a Cup, I think, will fit. I think you could absolutely do that. And I remember talking to her and saying, there are definitely moments that both her and Michael are saying light. And sometimes it's like, oh my God, is the impression you're getting from the word light. And other times it's like, holy F, instead. So,
we should totally...
the way it's delivered gives it a different way. But
So,
I like a mix. I think it could be a mix. They're kind of already doing that, and I think they can keep it. Yeah.
All right, you go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, now that I sit here and think about it for a second, people do like their cursing alternatives from TV shows.
Yeah.
Like Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been saying barnacles for years because I have children.
The Good Place
I still
made
say
like
Fiddle,
a
Faddle, and
whole
Rock from
joke about this. Have you guys seen The Good Place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy forking shirt balls.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like
I say that all the time.
It's great. It's fantastic. So
I think they're going to use it.
Yeah, I can't remember which Disney movie it is. It's an old one, but it's Sword in the Stone. And the
God.
wizard goes, "Oh, fiddle faddle and rot." I've genuinely said that multiple times in my life.
I
Because
love
it's such
that
a
one.
stupid phrase.
It's so
brilliant.
dumb but cute. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was
It
gonna
sticks in
say-
people's brains too,
It
though.
does.
Like
It does.
like-
It does. I
that-
think you can say it in mixed company without offending anybody, but people know you're upset.
And
Yep.
sometimes it's just fun. Like
how could
it's
I
just-
forget? How could I forget Firefly?
Gorham? Yeah.
Yes.
So Brian and I were watching a show called The History of Swear Words. We only watched one episode, but they were talking about how damn is no longer really considered a swear. Like,
Yeah.
but it all depends on how you say it,
Mhm.
whether it's a good thing or bad. And that's what light is like
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's like their junior bad word that you can use it
That's true.
for a variety.
That's like
Mhm.
that's
mean-
like
There we go.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but that's like when a New York I don't know if this is true everywhere else, but I know as a New Yorker, if depending on the inclination and the tone of "you okay,"
Right.
like that could mean like 12 different things,
Right.
like "you okay"
True.
or "you okay" or "you okay," that could mean
Mhm, mhm.
like 12 different things.
So, and I will say, I can't speak for all women of color, but I know the ones I hang out with, girl is another word. Like it could mean so many different.
You
There
could
we
be you could be starting a fight. You could
Right.
be like
we could just be talking about somebody. We could be,
Yeah.
I can't believe he told you that lie and you believed it. Or a girl that is the outfit for the day.
Yeah.
Like it could be any of those things.
There we go.
Mhm.
So, but that's
You
how
gotta
I
love-
feel.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say you gotta love a word that has so many uses. Like
Right.
regardless of what it is, I just love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
light-
Right. But that's what light is in the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, is it always a bad word? No, absolutely not. Like
light
you say it when
blinded
you're
fool.
excited. You say it when you're excited. You say it when you're mad. You say it when you're upset.
Yeah. For the light.
Yes. But we should totally do a poll of which Wheel of Time curses we want to see in the show.
Yeah, that's a good poll. Yeah, we
Yes.
should
Yeah,
put
I
that.
like that.
I'll put that on Dragon Mount at some point. We'll do a poll
Yeah.
of
That's
which ones should we keep.
Oh man, we
Maybe
got to
we-
do a
we should
count.
do a
Oh, that's
bracket.
it. I'm
There should be
gonna have a tally for how many we hear in season 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But on top, instead of like doing a poll for which one should we keep and put away,
Mhm.
you should do like a bracket.
A
bracket.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Bracket.
a tournament.
Bracket.
I
A
like it.
tournament, the
should.
best Wheel of Time swear, and you
We-
can put in all the swans, fishy
Yeah.
ones.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so
Fishy
many.
ones.
Yes.
That's good.
There
That's
you
good,
go.
Rob.
Oh god.
I like
Definitely
this.
need to do that. I really
Yes.
like that.
That's the next bracket. Yeah.
March
let's
March
just put in chat,
Madness.
March
Leah,
Madness
Rob, just
bracket.
I was gonna say Leah, just put it in there. Like
Yeah.
you
There we go.
guys, you
Yep.
were on point.
I love
That's
it.
so good.
I love it. I'm gonna start collecting that. I'm gonna email Maria and see. I think she told me once that she's got.
There must
like
be a file. Sure.
Yeah, she does. I think she has a
Yeah.
file or a list of all of the Wheel of Time. I gotta email her. And
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
let her
Yeah,
just-
because some of them are really like you would forget maybe how
Right.
just some
Well,
of them you
because-
don't.
Well,
really,
like,
all you got to do is I was gonna say all you got to do is really read Bile Doman, Swan Sanche, Uno,
Yes.
Uno.
and you're good. And you're
Yeah,
good.
true.
Yeah, you're
and
90, and then
Elaine.
occasionally a little bit of Elaine, where
little
she
bit of
tries to
Elaine.
like,
right?
A little bit of
Because
Elaine.
Elaine just likes to be bad sometimes.
Yeah.
So let me just say this bad word.
I think there's some. I think there might be some good Shanchan ones too.
So I was gonna say I feel like that we didn't get to see enough of that.
Yeah.
And I am sure there are good ones because they have so many omens. Like it's probably the most
Oh,
ridiculous
yeah.
thing
Yeah.
to say that's like bad.
Great Odin's Ravens.
Like
Yes.
I mean, oh, like little things. Like I still get mad when people whistle in my house. I'm like, my grandmother said that's bad luck. Don't do that. Don't
Don't
whistle
do
in the house.
Ah,
I have no backing for that. I have no proof.
it's just a thing. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know I wasn't allowed to do it. And you can ask Brian today. Every
Okay.
time he whistles in the house, I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame you if something bad happens. It's gonna be your fault.
Do
Yes.
not invite. It's because of Pat and Fane, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't invite
That's-
that guy over.
that's-
your grandmother knew. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, so it's probably so if we're 2 ages before that, it just
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
There
just
you go. There it is.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Before
it came back before
before-
and after.
Yeah. But before we get off, I want to remind everybody who our special guest was tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lovely and amazing and effervescent Rob from Outdoor
Ooh.
Talks.
Thank you.
Dedicated.
Rob, Rob stayed up with us. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning now?
It's
3:30.
3:30 in the morning.
3:30
Yeah.
in the morning. We should go. Let Rob go to bed.
Rob, do you have anything you want to promote or anything coming up before we get off?
No, I would just love if everyone could come to What a Holiday this weekend. Join us. It starts 7:30 Eastern on Saturday, and it's on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's 24 hours, 24 different YouTube shows. It's across 3 live streams because YouTube doesn't like one continuous 24-hour stream. It'll let you do it, but it's not great. So it's 3 blocks, but they're all linked together. You can't miss them. Come join us. We're going to have so much fun. People have been telling me what they're planning, and I think this is going to be, I think you're going to see some stuff you've never seen before, and it's going to be absolutely hilarious. Like this, I'm really excited. This ever and Rob, that's great. So yeah,
I think that's going to stick around for a little while.
Yeah, that will. Come join What a Holiday this week. We're also starting with our biggest goal ever, which we're aiming for 10 grand straight off the bat.
That's what I was going to say. You're doing it's a fundraiser too. So.
Yeah, so we're raising funds for the Light Weaver Foundation, which was set up by Brandon Sanderson and is run by Jane Sanderson. And it's just, it's a great charity. We've been doing it. We've supported them both years we've done previously, and we're doing it again this year. And I think last year we raised like 25% of the total funds they raised in the year came from the fundraising we did last year. So, we're a massive chunk of what they are able to do comes from What a Holiday is, at least last year.
That is so cool. Wheel of Time fans come through because between that and like books for prisoners, like, basically like knowing every time like Kate and Michael have done something because they like get a bump,
Yeah.
Because Wheel of Time fans come through.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rob, is there a schedule of the shows anywhere we can go? Like, who's going to be on at what time?
Yes. So if you hit up my Twitter account, it's there.
Okay.
If you go to my YouTube and you find the upcoming live streams, they're at the top of my page. Okay. Each one of them has listed who's on at the times, and so I'll be putting more promotional material out on Twitter over the next few days. And I've obviously sent it out to the folks who are all attending and encouraging them to tweet and post and do all the things that they will hopefully be doing. So
yes, everybody needs to go to Rob's YouTube channel and hit notify so you know when it's
hit the bells in those videos so you don't miss them.
Because if you're anything like me, you will forget in like 45 minutes that Rob said this, and then when you see people tweeting about it on Monday, you're gonna be like, damn it. Like
there it is.
There you go.
Yay! Where did you find that? Did I send that to you, or did you just?
I went and downloaded it. I was like, I'm totally not doing anything right now.
That's what that look was.
Yeah.
I thought you looked like you were up to something, Tom.
Yeah. So that's the first segment there. So starting off with yourselves.
Yeah.
And then Lights Work, Twatcast, Wheel Reads, Andrew and North Harbor are getting together. And then Podcast the Dragon, Lesbian Nerdy, Bodhi. So all the people come from the other side of the world taking the early hours for you. This is great. So
yeah. I was going to say that's all Eastern Standard Time, right?
Or
Eastern
Standard Time. Yeah. All in Eastern timings. So it's it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
I am glad that you joined us, Rob, and not just because I like your accent.
And thank you. I'm glad to be here too. This is honestly a lot of fun. When Rebecca was asking, I was like, I could do one of these dates, I'm sure. And in my head, I was like, give me episode 7, give me episode 7, give me episode 7.
I'm glad that worked out. That's awesome.
You said, join us for episode. And I was like, that would be great. And then I went, yeah. So.
Yay. I love it when people get to come on and talk about their favorite episodes. And you're at least the third person who's gotten to come on and talk about their favorite episodes. So I'm really glad that's worked out. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. So now who's for the next episode?
Oh, Twatcast.
Oh my God. I might be sick that day. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Next week is going to be Twatcast. I believe all 3 of them are coming, but it might just be 2 of them.
So every Twatcast starts out with 3 and ends with 2, doesn't it? Like we always lose one of them along the way.
It's other Tom's internet isn't the greatest in the world.
I was talking more about smoke breaks and alcohol.
That too.
That's okay.
That's true. So, but when he's doing it virtually, he doesn't have to leave to do smoke breaks.
That's true.
He just sits outside the whole time.
Yeah. And he does. The crickets are loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are loud. This is true. So,
All right. Thank you for hanging out with us,
thanks
everybody.
so much, everyone.
Make sure to go check out Rob's stuff. And
What a holiday.
we will catch you on the Wada Holiday. Yeah.
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 Bye,
Saturday.
everybody.
See y'all later.